Hello and welcome to the Daily Fantasy 5 on this Sunday, July 21st. This is episode 151. I'm your host, Scott Gerson, and we are bringing you the 5 things you need to know every day in the world of fantasy sports, brought to you by www.mathradio.com, where you pick up an online math course for as little as $9.99. Go to www.math.com today. All right, so today the big news is that Kevin Kiermaier of the Rays he's going to be on the IL. He's batting 248 with 10 home runs and 17 stolen bases. We also have the Eagles re-signing Darren Sproles, which is going to be a big deal for Miles Sanders, the rookie. I thought he might be the third down back, but now probably not. It's probably going to be Darren Sproles. And Kyle Korver of the NBA is signing a one-year deal with the Bucks. Okay, that's all the news today. But the big thing is we're doing a live best ball draft today. So we're going to go ahead and start that now. Let's get over there. I think it's already started, so we better get started right now. There we go. It's my pick. I'm number one. Looks like I picked Christian McCaffrey. Okay, that's fine. Wow, I ended up being the first round pick, and I took Christian McCaffrey. That's interesting. Saquon Barkley goes off the board right away. Yeah, we're jumping right into this thing today on the Daily Fantasy 5. So, McCaffrey was my number one guy right now. I have him above Barkley. I think the offense is better in Carolina than in the New York Giants. So I have him also above Kamara is probably my number 3 right now. And then Elliott, I have number 4 with the holdout concerns. So it looks like Barkley went second. Elliott went third. I don't love being at the first spot. I think the first 4 or 5 guys are all kind of the same. So I don't really like being at the turn. So we'll see what happens here at the end. Wow. Bell goes 5th. I have Bell ranked like what do I have Bell? Let me grab my piece of paper here. I have Bell as the 16th player on my board. Yowzers, he's going 5th. That's good for us. Although he's probably going to go no matter what before the 24th pick comes back to us. So we've got a long time to wait here. Let's go ahead and cover those stories real quick. Devontae Adams here goes off the board number 6. There's Johnson at number 7. That's interesting. I like that pick for them. So the Eagles re-signing Sproles does hurt Miles Sanders' value, which irritates me. I just grabbed him in a league yesterday. I think that Sanders would have been the third down back and the kind of handcuff for Jordan Howard, but now it seems like Darren Sproles will handle those third down duties, the pass catching role, as he goes back to the Eagles. So I don't love that for really either guy in Philadelphia. It hurts both of them. Hopkins goes off the board number 8. That's a nice value there. I like that pick. Let's see what they do here at number 9. They got lots of good options here to go with. I wouldn't be surprised if Hill comes off the board here at pick number 9. We'll see what happens. I have Hill after Jones and Smith-Schuster at number 10. We'll see what they do. Maybe Kelsey comes off the board. We'll see. So that's the big news out of Philadelphia today. And then, like I said, in the NBA, Kyle Korver going and signing with the Milwaukee Bucks. Good signing for the Bucks. Let's see here. Michael Thomas goes off the board, number 9. Number 10, they picked Gordon coming off the board despite all of the holdout concerns. I have Gordon as my 14th ranked player right now. Kelsey, wow, that is a risky lineup. If you watched the show yesterday, I had in a 12-team league Kelsey and Gordon going 11 and 14. So that's quite interesting there. It should be a risky team. I kind of like it. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and look back here. I did not check when McCaffrey, when his bye week was. So McCaffrey is week 7. So I don't want to be picking up any real running backs here in the next few rounds that are week 7 guys. Later on, I won't care as much, but right now I don't want to be picking up a running back who has a bye week in week 7. So Mixon goes off at number 12 here. All right, not a bad pick. I have Mixon at number 18 for me. We're talking about Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver obviously is going to be a value wherever he goes. He's going to hit some 3-pointers. So at the end of a draft, I could see him being out there in Milwaukee just posting up in the corner and drilling threes. It seems like a great spot for him. Wow, look at this. Julio Jones and Odell Beckham Jr. off the board, back-to-back picks here. I have them both as, I have Jones as the 8th player overall. Julio, where do I have Odell Beckham Jr. at? I have him at 17. So that's a nice little grouping there for those guys. So now our turn is coming up here pretty soon. We're on 2-5. We are at pick 210. So obviously I like Juju here. I would definitely take Tyreek Hill if he stays on the board. There goes Juju right off the board. So give me Tyreek Hill. I already have what do I have in the first round of running back? I'd be happy to take Connor if he falls, Antonio Brown. I want to get definitely one of these top wide receivers, Adam Thielen, Amari Cooper. They'll probably still be there. Looks like I'm going to have a choice between Chubb and those guys. We'll see what happens here. Ooh, Todd Gurley and Mike Evans come off the board. That's still good for me. Tyreek Hill still on the board. Connor goes off the board. One pick. I'm either ending up with Tyreek Hill or Antonio Brown. So that's interesting. I would take them both if they fall to me here at the turn. I'll go ahead and pick two wide receivers since I have a very, very solid running back and pick number one at McCaffrey. So let's see what happens here at the 9 pick. This is crucial for us. Oh, man, they take Antonio Brown. So we're definitely going to take Tyreek Hill here. No question about that. The question is, do we take Nick Chubb at pick number 30 and go with 2 running backs? I kind of like that. Do we take Damian Williams? That's another great option. Or do we go with Thielen? So those are all very interesting picks. I'm going to go ahead and draft Tyreek Hill here. We're going to take him as my number 1 wide receiver. Now, the question is, do we take Nick Chubb, Damian Williams, or Adam Thielen? Those are kind of my top guys left here. So the thing is, at running back, when we get back down to like 48, there's not much there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the running back here at this position. And I'm going to take, do I want Nick Chubb or Damian Williams? I'm going to go ahead and take Damian Williams. I think he is going to be explosive with Hill back. That should open things up. And I'm going with Damian Williams here. 2 Kansas City Chiefs off the board right here back to back for me. So I'm going with Hill and Williams. Hill has what? Oh, boy, I didn't check Williams. Let's see, here we go. This is why you got to check it. Hill is, let's see, week 12. Williams is week what week is week 12 as well, of course. Yes. So, all right. So now we have 2 running backs. I feel great about that. We know we're going to pick some guys off the board. Oh, they took Dalvin Cook. I don't like Dalvin Cook, so you should know that should not have been an option for me there. So far, I love this draft. End up with Tyreek Hill at the very end of the second round. I had Tyreek Hill listed as number 10, so that was a no-brainer for me. I love that pick. All right, let's see. Oh, the tight ends are coming off the board here. Kittle comes off the board. I would not be surprised at all if Zach Ertz comes off the board here. Oh, wow. T.Y. Hilton, that's early for him. Nick Chubb, that's a good pick. Let's see what's going to happen here at the end of round 3. I would expect Ertz to come off the board right about now. Nope, they will go with Amari Cooper. It should be Thielen, Ertz here coming off the board at the turn. So who am I targeting on my way back? Well, I've got a couple of running backs. I feel good about that. I would love to see AJ Green drop. It probably won't happen. Keenan Allen, that would be awesome. Stefon Diggs, but I mean, all those guys are probably going to be gone. You're looking more like I'm definitely going to target James White on the turn. That'll be pick 48 and 49. He's definitely going to be some. There goes Ertz off the board right now. We thought that might happen. So here you see kind of our sweet spot. If we have Stefon Diggs, Keenan Allen, if either of these guys drop, we're going to jump on them. And then we're going for James White, Mark Ingram, one of those two to come off the board at the turn as well. So you got to like that. And if they don't go, you got Phillip Lindsay right there as well. Let's pick up another running back because I'm going to pick up my wide receivers later, apparently, in this draft. When you got that number 1 spot, you're kind of, oh, look at that. Aaron Jones goes at pick 3rd round, pick 8. I love that pick. Very nice. Jones has been crawling up my draft boards day after day. So I really like that pick. Aaron Jones at the 3rd round, pick 8. That's 28 overall. That's a nice pick. Fournette. I mean, not a bad value at pick number 29. Not a guy I would be drafting, but Adam Thielen, I'm surprised he's still on the board here at pick 29 in the 3rd round. Marlon Mack still on the board. That's a nice value. So, yep, there goes there goes Green. We thought he might go pretty soon, and there he does go right there. All right, so we started the 4th round here. Let's see what happens. Stefon Diggs, that's my boy. I like him. I can't believe Thielen is still on the board here at pick 32 coming up. I'm guessing somebody's going to snag him real soon. If not, I'm happy to take him at the end of the draft or at the turn. Happy to take Derrick Henry as well. Lots of good players still on the board. We'll see what happens here. Jacobs, the rookie out of Oakland. I like him. I'm happy to take him at pick, 32? I mean, maybe that's a little bit early. We'll see. There goes Mac, Freeman. You kind of expect those guys to go at this point in the draft. Okay, now here's where it's getting interesting here. We're up in 5 picks. We still have lots of guys we like. Thielen would be amazing to drop to us. He's still on the board. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 picks to go. Still on the board. 1, 2, 3 picks, and then us. So we have Thielen. We're going to get Thielen, Allen, Ingram, or White. I love it. two of those. Well, we'll get at least one of those guys. We'll see if we can pick up two of them. That would be fantastic. Our team would really be set at that point. Derrick Henry. There goes there goes Allen. That stinks. We'll see if we can get one of these wide receivers. Nope, there goes Thielen. So now we have two running backs at the top of our board. That's interesting here. Edelman goes off the board. So I'm definitely going to take James White here. I know it's above where I have him rated. We're at pick 39 here. He's an overall 53 ADP. I don't care. So I'm definitely taking James White. Let me just check where his bye week is on week 10, so that's perfect. We're going to draft him. No questions asked. Now, the question is, do we want to take Mark Ingram or do we want to go with one of the wide receivers? We have a lot of guys left here. Galladay, Chris Godwin, Tyler Lockett. I'm thinking about taking Mark Ingram. When is Mark Ingram's bye? His bye is at week 8. We don't have any guys at week 8. I also like Philip Lindsay, but I'm just going to go running back heavy here. It seems like that's the way my draft has unfolded. I'm just going to stick with my draft chart, and I'm going to go ahead and take Mark Ingram here. So I am running back deep. That is not normally what I like to do. So let's just take a look here. Yowzers, we've got a lot of running backs. Let's go ahead and jump to my team here real quick. So we have McCaffrey, Damian Williams, Tyreek Hill, James White, and Mark Ingram. Holy smokes, Batman. That is a lot of running backs. So James White is week 10. Mark Ingram is week 8. So the thing I do like is that we have running backs at bye weeks with 7, 8, 10, and 12. So at this point, it doesn't matter what bye weeks the running backs are anymore. We can draft whoever we want. Oh, look at that. Patrick Mahomes goes off the board. The third pick in round 5. I would have waited another round to grab him. There's another tight end off the board, Hunter Henry, in the 5th round. That's interesting as well. Robert Woods goes. So when our pick comes back here, we're going to be looking at what pick? 60, 50, 58, 59, and 60 and 61. I'm sorry. So what's going to be available around picks 60 and 61? You're looking at guys like Tyler Boyd, Rashad Penny would be a guy I'd love to pick up. Who I'd really like to get is one of this group, Chris Carson and Tyreek Cohen. I know we're heavy on running backs at this point, but if I can grab one of them at the turn, I'd be super happy. There's a lot of running backs in this group that I would love to pick. And the wide receiver position is a little bit weak here. That's why I like to get my wide receivers up front, and it just didn't happen in this draft, but that's okay. We adjust, we move forward. There goes Kenny Galladay. Wow, Montgomery goes in the 5th round. I think that's a terrible pick. I like the other two running backs in Chicago much better than him. Chris Godwin goes 5'8". That makes sense. Tyler Lockett's still on the board. That's interesting. I know he's very touchdown dependent, but I like Tyler Lockett a lot. As you see, I have him above his ADP there. Philip Lindsay also still on the board. So who do we like coming up? We like Chris Carson. We like Tyreek Cohen. I love Mike Williams. Love to have him. Tyler Boyd is not my favorite player in the world, but will I draft him at pick 60? No, probably not. Cooper Kupp. I don't mind Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson, I like him as well. So there's some options there. I feel like I'd be reaching for Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson, but at this point, I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. So I'm certainly not going to draft 2 running backs if it happens. There goes Chris Carson and Philip Lindsay. So that makes my choices a little bit easier. I mean, obviously, I'd love to get Tyler Lockett or Calvin Ridley if they come up as well. So we'll see what happens here in the 6th round. Oh, Kenyon Drake went as well. So a big running back run here. 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. O.J. Howard goes, yikes, 6th round for him. I don't love that pick. I mean, yes, Tampa Bay is going to have to throw the ball a lot this season, but do we really want to depend on O.J. Howard? I'm not sure. And as I say that, I'm going to be picking perhaps a Tampa Bay quarterback later on. Let me just look at this quarterback group real quick. There goes Tyler Lockett. I like Lockett a lot. Oh, there goes another quarterback off the board. So the next time we'll be taking a quarterback is in round 8. If in round 9. If Rodgers or Luck goes in that group, we'll take them in round 9. But really, we want to grab one of these guys. Drew Brees, he's good at home. Jameis Winston is probably our target in round 10. But the problem is Winston and like Roethlisberger, two of my guys, they're both going the same bye week, so I don't like to have both of them. Let's see what's going on here. I'm coming up here. Well, we have DJ Moore, Ridley, Williams. All the wide receivers went before me. So my top picks are Tariq Cohen and then Cooper Kupp or Allen Robinson. Yikes. Don't love it. We're going to be super running back heavy. And I mean, it is what it is. We can pick up wide receivers later. We can adjust and grab it. Wow. Allen Robinson went off. A lot of our targets go off the board here. So it looks like we're going to take Tariq Cohen. All right, we like Tariq Cohen. Let's just check, make sure there isn't any nonsense going on. Nope, everything looks fine. He's a week 6, which is even better because that's not one of our bye weeks. So we have now 5 running backs, all with different bye weeks. We love that. And it looks like I'm going to go ahead and take Cooper Kupp. Team drills that were at less than 100% speed. That's fine. I mean, Cooper Kupp, he's a beast. I'm going to go ahead and grab him here. I think it's a good value. Cooper Kupp. I don't have him in many leagues, so, why not? Go ahead and grab Cooper Kupp. What is his bye week? Is week 9. Okay. So now we're definitely heavy on running back. We've drafted 5 running backs and only 2 wide receivers. No other positions have been taken. So we're going to be looking at, where are we going here? In the 8th round, that's pick what? 80 and 81 will be our next 2 picks. So what's going to be still available at picks 80 and 81? That's interesting. Now you're looking at, your Miles Sanders, Corey Davis. I love Corey Davis. Let's go ahead and put a star by his name. Christian Kirk, if he's still there, I might grab him. Not my favorite player in the world, but not bad either. Alshon Jeffrey might still be there. I'm just going to go ahead and tag all the wide receivers that could be there in that group, and we'll see how many we end up with. And then if one of our top running backs ends up being available at that point, we'll grab him. Now, Sammy Watkins is an interesting character. So Tyreek Hill, it was announced that Cook goes off the board early in the 7th round. Yikes, that's one of my guys. Let's see what we have left to tight end. Vance McDonald, I'm going to have to spend a pick on him here in this next round because he's my last guy that I really like. So if he gets to me, I will draft Vance McDonald without a doubt. But we were talking about, who are we talking about? Someone at the wide receiver position. Kansas City, Sammy Watkins. So I had Sammy Watkins pretty low, but look at the quarterbacks going off the board here in the 7th round. Rodgers and Luck both go off a little bit early in the 7th round here. We're definitely waiting on quarterback now. There's no one else we like high in this group, so we're waiting until about the 10th round to snag on one of our quarterbacks. So we're finished with the 7th round here after this pick. I would love to get Geronimo Allison in the 9th round or 10th. That'd be great. But Sammy Watkins, so before the Hill news, he was a guy I love in best ball format because he's not consistent, but he could put up huge games for you. So I liked him before. Now, instead of, his ADP is falling by the minute. It was 62 when I started this, like 11 o'clock this morning. Now it's up to 64. I drafted him earlier at pick 108, something like that. So he's just falling and falling and falling. You don't need to draft him anywhere near at this point. So there goes 2 of my guys, Pettis and Landry off the board. How many guys do we have left here in the queue? We have Corey Davis, Christian Kirk, Alshon Jeffrey, and Vance McDonald. Definitely be happy to get any of those 2 guys. There goes Jeffrey. Now we're down to 3 guys left here. How many picks do we have left before we're up? Vance McDonald goes. Oh, no, that means we have to pick 3 tight ends. This is not good. That pick really hurts. So you got Njoku, Ebron. I might go ahead and snag Ebron. I don't own him in many leagues, but Ebron is a touchdown machine. He proved it last year. And in this kind of format, he doesn't have to be good consistently week by week. He just has to be good for you when he's good, right? And we'll go ahead and draft a couple other tight ends that are a little bit more what's the word we're looking for? More stable. Yeah. So I might go ahead and grab Eric Ebron here at pick number, what will it be? Pick 80 and 81. One of those picks will go to Eric Ebron. The other pick, I'll take a wide receiver, either Corey Davis or Christian Kirk. Ooh, Lamar Miller is still available. That's a great value here. There he goes off the board right there. I thought that might happen. So who is he going to take? I like Ronald Jones as like one of my top guys here. Does he need a quarterback? He has Saquon. Let's see. He is pretty wide receiver heavy. Sammy Watkins, interesting. I think that's a little bit early for him. So I'm going to go ahead and take Corey Davis here in this round. Or do I want Christian Kirk? Who do I have on top of my list? I have Christian Kirk on top. Is there any news on Christian Kirk? Let's just check it real quick. His bye week is week 12. I already have a wide receiver week 12, so I'm going with Corey Davis. He's week 11. Let's draft him. All right, that decision was pretty easy. And then at tight end, we are going with Eric Ebron. Now, I know Ebron is a big question mark this year, but I mean, God, he had 14 touchdowns last year. It's crazy. Let's go ahead and take him. Yes. All right, so we had Ebron at week 6 with his bye. All right, so we like that. So now we've got a ways to go. So let me just go ahead and check out the guys I want to grab at the end of the draft here. I'd love to get Trey Burton. That might not be an option. Trey Burton, when is his bye week is week 6. Yeah, I thought he might be the same. What about Mark Andrews? Andrews is week 8. So Andrews is an option for us. We want someone who is somewhat reliable. Actually, you know what? We're probably just going to wait. There's a couple of rookies I like at the end, TJ Hawkinson and Noah Fant, plus who's our other guy from New England, Matt LaCrosse. So we'll go ahead and wait until 16th, 17th round to pick up somebody. Miles Sanders went right after us. That's interesting. There goes Baker Mayfield, a quarterback. So let's see what quarterbacks are still out there. Matt Ryan's still on the board. That's interesting here. He should go out to the board. I would assume he'll go out the board in this round. Ooh. Royce Freeman. All right, so we got a ways to go. What do you think about these quarterbacks here? I'm going to wait probably one more round until I go ahead and select a quarterback because, I mean, I like Ryan, but how many picks are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got a tight end. I know I'm drafting 2 tight ends, so if I do draft Matt Ryan, if he makes it all the way to me, I will probably take him. I don't think he's going to make it that far. And if not, I'm just going to wait and gamble and see who's there. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 more wide receivers probably at this point and just see what happens. So let's see, where are we at here? We're still going. Matt Ryan still on the board. There goes my boy D.D. Westbrook. It seems like a lot of people are out on him at this point. I can't believe Ronald Jones is still there. How many running backs do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he's still there, I'm taking him with my next pick. I also love Geronimo Allison. Those guys are huge for me. Who just went off the board? Njoku. Okay. That's fine. I also like Courtland Sutherland. He's one of my guys. And then Scandling is one of those guys who I don't think is the guy, but he has a shot to be the guy, the number 2 wide receiver out of Green Bay. I think is going to be Geronimo Allison. But if I can't get him, I'll take a shot with Scantling as well. I started him a couple times last year in daily fantasy formats. So I know him. There goes Allison right there. So I might be stuck with Scantling. Depending who you talk to, you get mixed reports. So you never really know with this kind of thing. So we'll see what happens here. All right, we've got how many picks left before we're up here? Oh, man, there goes – that sucks. Courtland Sutton goes off the board. Matt Ryan's still on the board. Let's see what else we have out here. We're going to have to look for some deeper options. Sterling Shepard. I don't like Sterling Shepard. Larry Fitzgerald. Ugh. Boy, it's dropping off. There goes Harris. I like him a lot at running back. He's a good pick. Let's see what else we have here. N'Keal Harry, Dante Moncrief. That's interesting. Golden Tate goes off the board. Devin Funchess, I'm hearing that he is the number 2 wide receiver and not Paris Campbell. So I might go ahead and grab him. Another guy I like is Tyrell Williams. I wouldn't draft him at this point. I might take Funchess here just because I might be out of juice at this point. I guess I can take 2 wide receivers next round, then to be at 5, and I have 2. You know what? Yeah, we're not forced to take a wide receiver here. So if James Washington goes, I wouldn't be too upset. There goes Matt Ryan. So now what do we do here? We have Ronald Jones, James Washington, Devin Funchess. So this is interesting here. Ryan goes off the board right before our pick where we were going to take him. So we're going to go ahead and take James Washington next year. It might be considered a reach, but I don't mind it at all. James Washington, my guy, I think he's going to be the number 2 wide receiver. And yes, we're heavy on running back at this point. We're going to go ahead and take Ronald Jones. And he's going to be our last running back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yeah, we have another week 7, but it's my number 1 player, so that's fine. we're going to take Ronald Jones right here as our next player. All right. Ronald Jones is way better than the, what pick was that? 101st player. I think Ronald Jones is a top 25 running back. So I like Ronald Jones a lot. What wide receiver did we take? James Washington. When is his bye week? Week 7. Okay. So far, our top 4 wide receivers were not any kind of duplicates. The 2 guys I like at the end, if you do not know, you've not been paying attention, are, let's see here. Well, first of all, we're hoping that Funches or Williams falls to us here at the turn. Okay. I also like Traquan Smith and Anthony Miller. So we're hoping to grab one of these 4 players here at the turn. And then later on, at the very, very end of the draft here, we're going to be going after 2 guys. Let's see if we can find David Moore and where is he? Zay Jones. So those are going to be my last 2 picks. All right. So I'm hoping to have 5 wide receivers at the end of this. All right. Because now I need to start taking quarterbacks and wide receivers. I'm sorry, quarterbacks and tight ends. I have 1 tight end, I guess. So let's just go ahead and take a look at my team again real quick here. Just give you an update. We do have Eric Ebron. All right, we're going to take some rookies later on. We need some quarterbacks. We've got plenty of depth at running back, and that's what we need here. So what we don't want to see is a bunch of quarterbacks going off the board here because we'd like to pick up one of these quarterbacks here next round. Let's see what we have at the quarterback position. Drew Brees, he's great at home. Jameis Winston, I'm happy with either of those guys. Dak Prescott, no. Ben Roethlisberger, yes. So I have Big Ben, I think above. Well, there went Jameis Winston anyway. So Jameis Winston is gone. There goes Mike Andrews. So right now, I would be drafting Ben Roethlisberger as one of my quarterbacks here. I also like Mitch Trubisky. And I like Josh Allen. And I like Phillip Rivers. And I like Jimmy Garoppolo. If I can get Ben Roethlisberger and, say, Mitch Trubisky, I'm happy to just go with those 2 guys. If I can't get Ben Roethlisberger, then I'm taking like Trubisky, Rivers, and Allen, or Trubisky, Rivers, and Garoppolo. Some kind of mixture of those 3 guys. But in this next round at what would be pick 120 and 121, I'm going to try to grab Ben Roethlisberger if he is there. And then right now, all 3 of my wide receivers are still there. So I'll take 1 quarterback and 1 wide receiver at this point. And then on the way back, I'm just going to hope that one of my quarterbacks is there. If Ben Roethlisberger is not there, then I will probably take 2 quarterbacks here, either Drew Brees and Trubisky, something like that. So we'll see what happens here. We are how many picks away? 1, 2. There goes Kareem Hunt. So that's an interesting pick. 1, 2, 3. I like him later on in the draft. He has value in a Cleveland offense that could be really good. A couple of running backs go off the board here. LaShawn McCoy, I hate that pick. I mean, what upside does McCoy have? He's well past his prime. Anyway. So who do we like best, Funches or Williams? They're both number 2 quarterback wide receivers. There goes Burton. I would have liked to have picked him up next round, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. That's all right. So Funches is still there. Williams is still there. Those are probably my top 2 picks. Tyrell Williams seems like the clear number 2 wide receiver. There goes Foreman. So we have our choice. We're going to go ahead and take Ben Roethlisberger. We know that. So that's no problem. That's a bye week of week 7. So we're just going to take our time and talk about, do we want Devin Funches or Tyrell Williams? So Tyrell Williams is the more clear number 2 wide receiver, whereas Devin Funches has a higher upside in a better offense in Indianapolis, but he's not the clear number 2 guy, although he has been running with the number 2s. So I'm going to go ahead and take Devin Funches. Let's see. Last season he had 79 targets, caught 4 touchdowns. They're predicting him to get some more targets this year. I mean, let's go ahead and go with Devin Funches. Why not? I don't own him in many leagues, so let's just go ahead and take him for that reason alone. When was Devin Funches' bye week? His week is week 6. Excellent. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers, and none of them repeat bye week. So we don't care about bye week anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're done drafting running back, so that's great. At this point, we have Big Ben. So at tight end, we're going to draft 2 more tight ends. because I took a player I don't really trust, and we're going to take two more rookies that we don't trust either. So yeah, we're definitely taking two more tight ends, and we're going to take some more quarterbacks. So let's see who went off the board after my guys went. Jimmy Graham. Ugh, there went Drew Brees. Wow, Hines, the backup, went. You know what I like? Nikhil Hines. He is a third down back that should see a lot of run in Indianapolis. I think that's a pretty good pick. I don't like Kyle Rudolph, even though I have him up here this high. If I'm going to be drafting three at this point, I want to draft somebody else. So on the way back, we need to be drafting what? Oh, tight end and a quarterback. So we have Trubisky. I like Lamar Jackson too, but he's a floor guy for me. But I'm going to put him on this list. Why not? Russell Wilson, I'll put him on the list as well. I don't want Kyle Rudolph. I don't want him. And Jimmy Garoppolo. There we go. So the tight ends are going to come off the round later. So I can go ahead and draft. What do I want here? Maybe two quarterbacks in this round, because we're not going wide receiver until later. So we can take two quarterbacks here, be done with quarterback, take our two tight ends after that, and then take our two wide receivers. So I think that's our plan. I think that's what we're going to go ahead and try to do. We'll see if it happens for us. So I'm going to go ahead and unclick our wide receivers here. We're not drafting him. So we have two wide receivers at the end of the draft. We have how many quarterbacks left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarterbacks that we are looking to draft here in this round. So we have how many picks left? 11 picks left before we're up. So it's a long ways to go. That's why I don't like picking. There goes Russell Wilson. That's not good for us. All we want to do is see no quarterbacks go at this point. So let's see what happens here. And while I'm here, let me talk about Philip Rivers. If you haven't been listening to our shows, I love picking up Philip Rivers if you have some risk with you. So Philip Rivers, in the first 15 weeks last season, did not have a game with less than 15 fantasy points. He also didn't have a game with over 30. So that means he's going to get you a reliable 15 to 20 points every single week. That's a great guy to have to match up with someone who just went off the board like Josh Allen. There goes Lamar Jackson. When you're taking risky guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, Mitchell Trubisky, you want someone in there like Philip Rivers who's going to give you a solid floor at the quarterback position, because the quarterback position is one of the highest scoring positions in fantasy football. So you want someone like Philip Rivers to back up risky guys like Trubisky or Garoppolo. In my situation, I want to grab 3 of them because I feel pretty good at this point. Who just went? Breida. I like that pick. He could be a star in the San Francisco offense, but he hasn't done it the last 2 years when he's had a chance. There goes Matt Trubisky. That's not good. We're down to 2 quarterbacks left. I don't love it. Who else do we have at the quarterback position? This is not good for us. Kirk Cousins we don't like. Tom Brady we don't like. Derek Carr we don't like. Yikes, this is getting ugly. Sam Darnold, no. So now we need to come up with a backup plan because, oh, wow, we got lucky. Our guys are still there. We have Philip Rivers, who's going to be our safety guy, and Jimmy Garoppolo, who is our upside guy. So we're going to go ahead and draft Philip Rivers and Jimmy Garoppolo. We got pretty lucky there. I was just starting to look for backup plans. So this is good. Philip Rivers is our floor. And then you say Ben Roethlisberger. Well, what about him? He's pretty safe. Well, you know what? Ben Roethlisberger finished as the second overall quarterback last year in all of fantasy sports, in all of fantasy football, excuse me. So he has more upside than anyone in the world. And Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, first of all, he's super handsome and he dates a porn star and all that good stuff. But the guy can throw the ball. So if he stays healthy, wow, Miller went here this late. That's a great value to grab Miller this late, and Goddard too. Both good picks there. Let me check out this team. I bet they have a very nice team. What is his name? Frankelburn. Let's check out Frankelburn's team. I bet he's got a great team. Matt Ryan, okay. Saquon, Dalvin Cook, I don't like him. Wide receivers are pretty decent. Jimmy Graham. Yikes. Jimmy Graham and Dallas Goedert. That's might hurt them. We'll see what happens for them, though. You know, while we're here, let's check out our team as we go on here. We've got plenty of picks to go before we're up again. And all we're doing here is taking a couple tight ends. So let's make sure they're still on the board. There's Hawkinson and there's Fant. Those are our 2 guys. If they go, we have Tyler Eifert. And if he goes, we're taking Matt LaCrosse. But we'll probably take him later. We'll take one of our wide receivers. So anyway, what do we have now? Our quarterbacks are Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers and Jimmy Garoppolo. Love that group. Running backs, we have Christian McCaffrey, Damian Williams. We have, let's see, James White, Mark Ingram, Tyreek Cohen. Love it. Ronald Jones. That running back group is stellar. At wide receiver, we have Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp. I don't love him as my second wide receiver. Corey Davis, up and down guy who should be great in this format. Who else do we have? James Washington could be the number 2 wide receiver in Baltimore. Devin Funchess could be the number 2 in Indianapolis. All right, so our goal is to pick up 2 wide receivers at the very end of the draft. Let's look at what's going on here. Herndon, that is a terrible pick here at 15-5 by the Gash Gushers. He's suspended for the first 4 games of the season, and then, I mean, he's no different than the 30th tight end, so that's just an awful pick. Kirk Cousins, let's see, what do we have? Oh, I love this. Dion Lewis here in the very end of the draft, especially in daily fantasy formats. He's going to be awesome this year. Whenever the Patriots are playing a team that's going to score a lot of points, you want to be starting Damian Lewis, or I'm sorry, not Damian Lewis. What's his name? His first name is Dion Lewis, because he's going to be out there catching passes for sure. But when they're in the lead, they're not going to be running him. It's going to be Derrick Henry. All right. I also love Madison that went right here in this group as well. I don't have any faith at all in who's the starter in Minnesota. You know who I'm talking about. I think Madison is the starter by the second half of the season. Wow. Why can't I remember his name? I don't want to go back that far in the draft to look it up, but you know who I'm talking about. Ooh, Parker. I like him as well. I like Crowder. Wow, I really like this 16th round here. How many picks in a row is that are like 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh, no. Forget that. There's Matthew Stafford. Why in the world are you drafting Matthew Stafford? He is awful. But that's all right. It's good for us. Both our tight ends are still there at this point. Did I miscount here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's look at our team here. I may have miscounted. We have 6 running backs, 5 wide receivers. Oh, so we can only take one of our wide receivers. That's right. That's okay. I feel good about that. Let's see. Who are the wide receivers we have at this point? And we have Tyreek Hill. Yeah, we'll be fine. We're definitely taking 2 tight ends at this point. We take both of our rookies and just live with it because it's going to be fun. Why not? So here goes Hawkinson, just because he was drafted first. I'm going to take him first, and we're also going to take Noah Fant. And then we're going to wait for the turn. On our way back, we have to wait like 5 minutes here, and then we'll take one of our wide receivers, either David Moore, Zay Jones. One of them will still be on the board when we come back. I guarantee it. And if not, I don't know who we'll take. I don't have a backup plan at that point. I like John Brown. We'll take John Brown. How about that? Or Marquise Brown. I like Marquise Brown a lot too. So that's the deal with if you don't know how best ball works, I guess I should have brought this up at the beginning of the show, but we were in a hurry. So this is it. Like, this is all the work we have to do, and then you don't do anything else because there are no roster moves. You don't pick who you sit and who you start. It's just all done right here at the draft. And then whichever quarterback you have that scores the most points, like, for example, let's go ahead and take a look at our team here. We have Roethlisberger, and who else? Rivers and Garoppolo. Whichever one of those players scores the most points in a given week, that's the player the computer automatically starts for us. So it's just like best ball in golf. Whoever hits the best tee shot, everyone shoots from that spot on their next shot. So it's a pretty great format. It's very fun, and it's certainly not very much work. I know during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of weekly fantasy stuff. I'm not even going to be playing any traditional leagues, maybe 1 or 2, and that's it. So for me, there goes Brown. That was one of our safety picks. So now we need a new safety pick. Let's see here. Marquise Brown is going to be our new safety pick, and then Deebo Samuels, if not for him. So in this format, you don't have to do any work after today. It's all done for you. I mean, yeah, your money's tied up for 4 months, but I mean, so what, your money's going to be tied up in over-under bets, and we all make those anyway. And I just think it's a lot of fun because, I mean, the best part of fantasy football, in my opinion, is drafting players. There goes a couple more tight ends. Doyle and Eifert off the board. Eifert could be awesome. I liked him here late. He's never, ever, ever, ever healthy. One quarterback I do like, let's see if he's still on the board, is Darnold. I'm get off the wide receiver. Andy Dalton. So Andy Dalton is great at the beginning of the year when he has guys healthy. His problem is he's more of a distribution point guard. So once all of his players are injured, he can't do anything. But at the beginning of the year, he had great stats last year. I think he was quarterback 6 or 7 through the first 5 weeks before he got injured and some bad things. So there goes Deebo Samuel. So there goes my super backup. Another guy I like, if you're at this point and you're like, I don't know who to pick, Ryan Fitzpatrick. He might only start 5-6 games during the season, but he will put up huge numbers. I really wish they hadn't made that trade at the draft, but I like Ryan Fitzpatrick as well if you're looking for a quarterback here at the end of the draft. Dwayne Haskins has to start at some point for Washington too, because he's the only chance that anyone in that organization has for keeping their jobs. If Dwayne Haskins is good, pretty much everybody gets to keep their jobs. If he's not good, everybody's pretty much fired. So now the big question for us is, are we taking David Moore, who is the Seattle number 2 wide receiver, or are we taking Zay Jones, who, could be the number 1 wide receiver in Buffalo, but you are the number 1 wide receiver in Buffalo, so that's not good. I'm probably going to take David Moore. I've got him rated just slightly ahead of Zay Jones. Basically because every analyst you listen to hates Zay Jones, and they all love David Moore. So, yeah, they probably know more than I do, so we're just going to go with David Moore. We'll see what happens. We have 3 picks to go before we're up. Then there goes David Moore. That sucks. So I guess we're going with Zay Jones, which is also fine. If these next 2 picks are Zay Jones and Marquise Brown, I'm going to be thinking they're listening to the live feed. Nope, there goes Sanu. So, yeah, we're going to get one of our guys. That's pretty crazy. There goes. Who is that? I don't even know who that is. All right, we're going with Zay Jones. We're happy about this, and we are done. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me go back to the live feed here. Where's our YouTube live event? Let's see. We are on the Google Hangout. I don't even know how to get there anymore. I hope I recorded all this. If not, I'm severely sorry. All right, there it is. Yeah. All right, there we are. Hello, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Please check back in tomorrow. We'll have our regular show, and we'll be talking fantasy football and any news that comes up. Please visit our sponsor at www.mathradio.com, and I'd love it if you were to give us a 5-star rating and a review on iTunes or Spotify, and then click that subscribe button on the YouTube podcast. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.